Hey guys, Coach Tyler here with Momentum Throws, doing another video analysis on the discus. This is Samaria Vital. She is my junior discus thrower from Mansfield Lake Ridge High School. She is 16 years old, just started really taking her training to the next level. She threw last year as a sophomore, I believe. She tried to throw in middle school as well, but she was a basketball, volleyball girl. Those were the sports that her and her folks were really interested in. But through word of mouth, you know how that kind of works. Her and I have been working together now. This is our third week consistently. I worked with her a little bit towards the end of her track season, her school season this year, and she's improved vastly. She has improved vastly, and we are just getting started. She has no idea how good she can be, and maybe she does. She has incredible confidence. She has a work ethic that is going to allow her to be really good at this sport. Any college coaches out there watching this video, you guys need to make sure you're paying attention to her, because she is going to turn some heads this summer, but definitely by next track season, her senior year. So, and I preface a lot of the coaching that I do with her is very general. It's very foundational because we're really just starting. She's really only about 5 to 6 months into throws training, as far as actually trying to drill and get her technique down. So she's fairly new, a little rough around the edges, but we're going to clean a lot of things up. She's already throwing in the 130s. We've had a few throws north of 135, 140. It kind of gets kind of hard to see where they hit. The 5K shot put's getting pushed out really well. She's crushing it. She's crushing it, and it's just the beginning of the summer. So we're going to watch his full speed a couple of times, just like we always do, and get into it from there. One more time. Okay, so my coaching style is I want to mold the technique, the physics, everything that I've learned over the years to you. So I don't necessarily use a set of drills, of systems. I don't have a set way of doing that. I like to look at the athlete and let's try to figure out how to bend this to you. What do you already do well? This is no secret, and all information is learned from someone. I could not trace the first person to ever coach this way, but I know that it works that way for me, and that's how I have a lot of success with my athletes. Point being, we have only gone over two major things. Number one is turning that right foot. I attest my knowledge of how to do that from Coach Adams at UTSA. Great guy, great throws, great track and field program down there in San Antonio, University of Texas in San Antonio. I threw for Coach Adams. I owe him a lot. He is the man. But I will never, ever forget toe, knee, hip. Tony Hemp, I will never forget that cue, as well as at the back, getting that left armpit out past, left armpit out past that left knee and toe. Those are the two main things that I use for all of my throwers, and I attest that to him. But when I started my coaching career, obviously he was able to get me my first job at Texas Lutheran University, a small Division III outside of San Antonio. They are one of the best track and field programs as far as Division III is concerned in the country. They have some really solid throwers. They've sent some throwers to nationals. Coach Wolf is doing a great job, and I'm happy to say I played a role in that. Nonetheless, when I was there, my first year, I met a guy by the name of Walter Henning. He was an All-American hammer thrower and worked under Coach Yush, and Coach Yush is currently the throws coach at Alabama. Coach Yush was also a roommate with another. Basically, I learned a lot from Walter. My mind is and has always been a bit of a sponge when it comes to the throws, and spending that time with him, developing a friendship. There was one thing that I have never forgotten and something that's always stuck out to me, and I only coach certain throwers to do this, and that's the 3 stretches. 3 stretches in the discus. So I've taught her how to turn her hips, and I've explained what the 3 stretches in the discus need to be for her. That is it. Everything else will come little by little, build the house brick by brick. That being said, she does a pretty good job of getting out and over that left. A previous video I did of her, we talked about how she's too overactive with her upper body first. And this is a little more controlled, but we're still doing a little bit too much with the upper body. But I'll take this. Little by little. We do a good job getting out. We're balanced. We're in control. Now, right here, this is where we vastly need to improve. She is kind of sidestepping into the ring instead of sprinting and then rotating and get that right foot turned around. That is killing her horizontal movement across the ring and her momentum across the ring. Does that stop her from throwing? No. Is that going to impede her from getting 140, 150, or even more? No. But that's something that we need to pay a little bit more attention to. That's number one. We need to learn how to open and then stop that guy so we can get a little bit more sweep out of that right leg and a little bit more hip rotation, right hip rotation to the middle of the ring. Okay, that's number one. Number two is here. Everything is upright. Her legs are straight. We need to try and keep our hips down here. They pop straight up. Now, we do a decent job of putting the foot down and then getting back into a loaded position. But if we sprint it correctly, we swept out with the inside of the right knee and ankle and got the toe up just slightly and kept our hips down, we will get to the middle so much quicker. And then squeeze our knees, we would get to the power position so much quicker. And if we got a better sprint, we would get to the front of the ring. We wouldn't be a whole foot behind the front of the ring. Nonetheless, that's all timing. And timing is reps. The more repetitions that she does, the better her timing will get. Like I said, she's only really been training for the discus 6, maybe 8 months. That's maybe. This is week 3 for us. And we're going to be on and off a heavy cycle pretty much the entire summer until her heavy lifting, and then we'll change it up then in the fall. But what I like is she maintains the right arm and discus out. That's a huge improvement. She used to kind of throw that discus out in front of her body. Now it's staying back. Now she's focusing on keeping that arm stretched, and it stays out long the whole time. But you can see here everything kind of comes around together. There is so much that she's going to be able to add to her throw. But it's already starting to come together. I mean, she's incredibly talented. I'm telling college coaches now, I've reached out to some of you, but if any of you start watching this video, watch out for Samaria Vital. She is going to throw far when we start cleaning these things up. So, in conclusion, go out of the back, less upper body movement, okay? Lock that left knee and foot there. Allow your right leg to sweep out and around, get to the ground. Keep those hips down. Keep the left knee bent. We don't have to straighten it, okay? And then squeeze those knees are out a little bit too far. And then turn those hips. One thing at a time. Right now we're focusing on stretches and turn the hips. Once we start getting those down consistently, we'll start adding some other little details to her throw. But again, I focus more on cause and effect and what they are doing, not forcing a style or forcing a maneuver on her or on any of my throwers. That's just the way I coach, and it's been successful for us. Great job, Samaria. Let's go get it done.